The question most people can't answer. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually sat down and counted every single subscription you're paying for right now? Not just Netflix, not just Spotify. I mean everyone. The gym membership you signed up for in January. The app you downloaded 6 months ago and forgot about. The news site you subscribed to for one article. The cloud storage you upgraded because your phone was full. Most people, when they actually do this exercise, feel a little sick. Because the number is almost always way higher than they thought. And here's the wild part. It's not because people are careless with money. It's not because they're bad at budgeting. It's because subscriptions are specifically, psychologically designed to be invisible. They are built to hide inside your life, quietly pulling money out of your account every single month, while your brain barely registers them as spending at all. That's what we're talking about today. The subscription trap. How it works, why it's so effective, and what it's actually costing you over time. Because that last number might genuinely change how you think about money. Subscriptions are designed to be invisible, and that's not an accident. The free trial that never really ends. Here's a scenario that probably sounds familiar. You're browsing your phone late at night. An app pops up. It offers you a free 7-day trial for some productivity tool, or a meditation app, or a streaming service with one show you actually want to watch. The offer says you can cancel anytime. It's only $9.99 a month after the trial ends. You think, sure, why not? It's basically free for a week. You enter your card details. You use the app for maybe 3 days. Life gets busy. The trial ends. The charge hits. You don't notice because $9.99 barely shows up in your mind as a real expense. And then the next month, it happens again. And the month after that, 12 months later, you've spent nearly $120 on something you stopped using in week 1. And somewhere else in your financial life, you're wondering why you never seem to have extra money at the end of the month. That's not a coincidence. That's the trap, working exactly as intended. $9.99 times 12 months equals $119.88 spent on something you forgot you had. Why your brain is wired to ignore this. Now, before we go further, let's understand why your brain is so bad at tracking this. There's a concept in psychology called the pain of paying. When you hand over physical cash, your brain actually feels a small moment of discomfort. Studies have shown that people who pay with cash tend to spend less because the act of giving away money feels real and immediate. But subscriptions are the complete opposite of that experience. They are automatic. They are silent. They happen in the background, usually on the same day every month, buried in a bank statement most people never fully read. There is zero friction, no decision being made, no moment of choice. Your brain never has to say yes to the purchase again. It only had to say yes once, usually months ago, in a moment where the price felt small and the benefit felt obvious. This is why companies have moved almost entirely to the subscription model over the last decade. It's not just because it gives them predictable revenue. It's because it removes your ability to opt out mentally every month. You stay subscribed, not because you're choosing to, but because cancellation requires deliberate effort, and our brains are wired to avoid effort. Psychologists call this status quo bias. We tend to keep things the way they are unless something forces us to change. Subscriptions use this against you beautifully. The default is stay subscribed. To stop paying, you have to take action, and most people never do. Status quo bias. Your brain's default is to keep paying, not to question it. The real cost, compound growth example. Monthly saving time. Horizon projected value, 8 to 10% average. $100 per month, saved 10 years. Approximately $18,000 to $20,000. $100 per month, Save 20 years, approximately $70,000, plus how subscriptions hijack your perception. Now let's talk about the real cost, because this is where things get interesting. Imagine you're currently paying for the following, and be honest, because most people have at least this many: 2 streaming services, a music app, a cloud storage plan, a gym membership you use occasionally, 1 or 2 apps, maybe a premium news or podcast subscription. Add those up, and you're probably somewhere between $80 and $150 a month. Let's call it $100 for round numbers. That's $1,200 a year. Now here's the question nobody asks. What would happen if instead of paying that into subscriptions you rarely use, you invested that money? If you invested $1,200 a year into a basic index fund, something boring and simple that tracks the overall stock market, and the market grows at its historical average of around 8 to 10% per year, in 10 years, you'd have somewhere between $18,000 and $20,000. In 20 years, that same $100 a month could grow to close to $70,000. But here's the deeper layer of the subscription trap that most people miss. It's not just about the money you're losing. It's about what subscriptions do to your perception of your spending. There's a mental model called expense categorization. Our brains sort our spending into different mental buckets: necessities, luxuries, treats. And over time, subscriptions get quietly moved from the luxury bucket into the necessity bucket without you ever making that decision consciously. This is called the endowment effect. We assign more value to things we already have than to things we don't own yet. So the longer you're subscribed to something, the more your brain overvalues it. Not because it's gotten more useful, but because it's become familiar. $100 per month redirected to investing could become $70,000 plus in 20 years. That's the real price of the trap. How to escape the subscription trap. So what do you actually do about this? The first step is what I call the subscription audit. This isn't complicated, but most people have never done it properly. Go to your bank statement or credit card statement for the past 3 months. Go line by line. Write down every recurring charge you find. Every single one. Then, next to each one, write either use it regularly, use it sometimes, or barely use it, or forgot about it. Most people find at least 2 to 4 subscriptions in that last category. Some people find 10. Cancel everything in that third group immediately. Not eventually. Right now. Because every day you wait, you're paying the status quo tax. For everything in the use, it's sometimes category. Be honest with yourself. Is this actually enhancing your life? Or is it just familiar? Could you live without it for 6 months and barely notice? If yes, cancel it. You can always resubscribe. But most people, once they cancel, realize they didn't need it as much as they thought. The second thing to understand is subscription creep. This is the slow process of adding small subscriptions over time until the total becomes significant. Each individual one seems harmless. It's just a few dollars a month. But the total picture tells a different story. The solution is simple. Once a year, do the audit again. Treat it like a financial hygiene habit, the same way you'd clean out your closet or review your budget. The third idea is to redirect what you save. If you cancel $40 worth of subscriptions, automate a transfer of that $40 into a savings or investment account on the same day your subscriptions used to charge you. You've already trained yourself to live without that money. Use that momentum. 3 steps. Audit, cancel, redirect. That's the whole strategy. Your 3-step action plan. 01. Run the subscription audit check. 3 months of bank/card statements. Label each subscription. Use regularly, /sometimes, /barely. 02. Cancel, ruthlessly. Everything in the barely column goes today. Question the sometimes column honestly. 03. Redirect and invest. Set up an auto transfer of your savings on the same date subscriptions used to charge you. What wealth really is. Here's the bigger picture, and this is really what I want you to take away from today. Wealth is not usually built through one big dramatic financial decision. It's built through dozens of small, invisible decisions made consistently over years. The person who quietly cancels 4 subscriptions and invests that money for 20 years doesn't look like they're doing anything special. But the compound effect of that choice, made early and repeated, is the difference between financial stress at 50 and genuine financial freedom. The subscription trap is powerful, not because any single subscription is devastating. It's powerful because it works on your psychology hiding costs, exploiting inertia, inflating perceived value, in ways that accumulate quietly until the damage is real. The good news is that once you can see the trap, it loses most of its power. You can't unsee it. Every time a new subscription offer pops up with the free trial and the cancel anytime and the low monthly price, you'll see it differently. You'll ask yourself the one question that short-circuits the whole trap. Do I genuinely need this, or am I just saying yes because saying no feels like effort? That question alone, asked consistently, is worth thousands of dollars over the course of a lifetime. The most expensive thing in your financial life probably isn't your rent or your car payment or the vacation you took last year. It might be the slow, steady drip of money flowing toward things you forgot you were paying for. Go find them, cancel them, and put that money somewhere it can grow. Future, you will be very glad you did. One question changes everything. Do I genuinely need this, or am I just too lazy to cancel? If this made you think about your own subscriptions, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more simple breakdowns of how money actually works, stick around. We've got a lot more to cover.